Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends. It's your buddy Boogeyman Ben here for a new episode of Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone. And this video is going to be a review of a film that I have been waiting at least 2 years to see. It's one that I heard about back in 2016. In fact, when I met Felissa Rose, she had just finished filming her part for it. I also met Dee Wallace, who talked about filming it as well. The movie is called Death House, and it's being billed as the Expendables of Horror films because it features an amazing cast of Kane Hodder, Tony Todd, R.A. Mihailoff, Barbara Crampton, Bill Moseley, Sid Haig, Adrienne Barbeau. You got a fantastic lineup for this film, and pretty much what the film deals with is it deals with this prison. It's this very secret prison called the Death House, and these two agents are on a tour of it. There's a power malfunction, and they are forced at that point to fight their way through this labyrinth of horror while they're being pursued by these crazed inmates. The movie was written by the late great Gunnar Hansen. It was it's based on a story that he wrote, and it was also co-written by B. Harrison Smith, who also directed the film. Now, when I met Dee Wallace and asked her about this film, because I told her I was really excited about it, she said it was one of the best scripts she had ever read, but she had no idea what the finished product was going to be like. And this film has been weird. It was released in a limited release last year. I know it played a couple of conventions, and it was just quiet for a long time. And then all of a sudden, there was an announcement. I followed the production on Instagram, and it was announced that they were going to be releasing the film on digital formats on the 6th of this month. And then it would be released on Blu-ray and DVD in December. So as soon as it came out, I purchased it because I just said, the hell with it, I want to check this out. It's a very short film. It's only about an hour and 29 minutes. The film is very strange. It's not really a horror film. It's almost like it's got horror elements, but I wouldn't consider it a horror film. It's got it's kind of got a mix of horror, sci-fi, and action. It's kind of got a lot of things in it, and a lot of them don't gel really well. You can't really tell if this film is supposed to be a B movie or if it's supposed to be taken seriously, or because it doesn't have a real good focus, and it's very unfortunate. The strongest roles in the film, I'm going to say, go to Kane Hodder, who I thought was really good in it. I also thought Barbara Crampton and Dee Wallace were the other strong ones in it. The weak part for me was the two agents, and I want to make sure I get their names right. They're played by Cody Longo. I did recognize him from Piranha 3D, and then Courtney Palm, who I've seen she was in Sushi Girl, and she was in Zombievers. Those are the two that I remember her from. Both of them were just not that strong, and I was more interested in some of the other actors that didn't get a lot of screen time. I mean, Felissa Rose is barely in it. You also have actors like Tiffany Shepis, Rick Stevens, Sean Whalen, Debbie Roxron. It's like they're just in it. If you blink, they're gone. Tony Moran, who played unmasked Michael Myers in John Carpenter's Halloween, was in it for a second. You barely know that they're there. And some of the actors that have really brief appearances, like Tony Todd and like Michael Berryman and Bill Moseley, their parts are really interesting, and I wish they could have just been in the film a little bit longer. And I feel like if you're billing this thing as the Expendables of Horror, each character should have a more fleshed out role, and they just didn't. They were kind of like walk-ons, and then they'd walk off. I believe this is B. Harrison Smith's first feature film, but it was really, really rough, and there was parts of it that just were so dark I couldn't see what was going on. So it made it really frustrating watching it. Like I said, there are some things I do like about it. I thought the ending presented something really interesting that I wish would have been presented a little bit better. I just felt like it presented a lot of ideas that weren't really fleshed out. There was a lot of things that just didn't work, a lot of concepts that just didn't gel really well. And you also had two leads that just unfortunately weren't really strong. It just really was a disappointment for me. It's not one that I won't watch again. I don't regret buying it. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are disappointed in it. So if I had to give this film a rating on my scale, I would give it 2 skulls. Yeah, that is my review of Death House. Like I said, it was a little bit of a disappointment. Wasn't really the film that I wanted it to be. I was hoping that it would be a little bit better. I was getting nervous after I started hearing some of the reviews come out about it, especially my friend Joe over at Joe's House of Horror. He, got to see an advanced screening of it and just didn't care for it, and pretty much summed up the same things that I did. Just that it just doesn't work. It's got some really interesting ideas that just aren't fleshed out very well. And there's some really cool visuals in parts, and then other parts you can't see it. It's really too dark. There's just a lot of things that just don't come together for this film, and it's unfortunate. But, you know, it was Gunnar Hansen's story, so I respect the fact that he wrote this. I don't know how much of it was changed up after his passing. They do a nice little tribute to him in it, and like I said, there are some performances that work really well, but as an overall film, it just didn't work, and I really wish it would have, because you have an amazing cast. But that's going to be it. That is my review of Death House. If anyone else has seen it, please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Would love to hear from everyone. If you guys want to check out my social media links, they are down below. I hope everyone will do that. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for some more great videos coming real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace. I have a Patreon page. If everybody wants to help support me, the link is down below. And if you do help support me, Dracula here will get more treats, and Dracula really loves his treats. So any support that you can give me would be very, very much appreciated. Right, Drac?